Hey, what's going on, team? I wanted to quickly show you how I cleared a little bit over $1,000 on the day on sqqq. I only have one share in tqqq. I tend to carry always just one share of one or the other just to stay up to date. And I really began to step on the gas. I just wanted to share my whole thought process behind the trade. Also, I'm going to provide you with a quick little stock market update. If you want to see today's live trading session, friendly reminder, I trade live every single morning with the Learn Plan Profit group. It's at market open. If you want to see my thought process behind it in real time, it's going to be the first link in the description. It's just a raw live trading session. You see my entries, you see the thought process behind it, you see me answer questions in real time. There's no fancy bells and whistles. It's just raw live trading every morning. So one of the questions that I start the morning off with, and I do this even during the pre-market session, is I begin to ask myself, what is indicating signs of an uptrend? Is there a clear market direction? And it's a little bit easier to see on this 5-minute time frame for tqqq. Obviously, it's now much easier to see based off of how things played out, but I didn't have all of this data, right? All the data that I had on the 1 minute, 1 day, 1 minute time frame was this, right? This is all pre-market, and I could see that sqqq was making a progression. It was indicating signs of higher highs, higher lows. Yes, it would retrace back to the moving average, but it would establish a support level. And it would continue to rally. That's what I really liked about sqqq versus tqqq, which is the normal bull ETF. This was actually getting rejected by the moving average. I personally view the moving average to be a good indicator for just intraday direction, and or if you look at the larger time frames for overall direction on the big picture. With that being said, I saw that this thing was bearish. It was making lower lows, lower highs, but you never really know, right? So one of the things, the steps that I took to get some skin in the game, but not try to be too confident, is I saw that sqqq was bullish on the day. We actually talked about this yesterday in yesterday's video. I don't know if you guys watched it. But with that being said, I took a small position. I had about 200-300 shares, and then the market opened. It got kind of choppy, as it normally always does within the first, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it was, really 10 minutes. And then it really began to indicate signs of an uptrend. And then you'll see in the live trading session, it began to indicate signs of an uptrend. I began to step on the gas. I began to add more, up to the point where I had 850 shares. It was my first trade for the day. Normally I trade with over $100,000. On this trade, it was just under $30,000. Why would I do that? Well, you need to understand, right? The market just opened. And just like when you're getting started, you kind of want to warm up. You don't always have to treat your trades like this. It's just a thought process that I tend to have, is that every day presents new challenges. With that being said, although I might have had a successful day yesterday, it doesn't necessarily mean that today I'm going to approach it with the same mindset, that I'm going to be super focused and super effective. So what I like to do is I like to watch my position size, keep it under 30%, and make sure that I stay effective, that my position is enough for me to take it seriously, but not so much that I become an emotional and irrational mess. It's not just if things go according to plan, but if things get worse, meaning that if things begin to go south for me, then I can take action. Remember, anyone can make money in this market. That's not the impressive part. The impressive part is when things begin to go south, that you hold yourself accountable and that you manage and mitigate risk. I am more impressed when people hold themselves accountable on the worst case scenario than actually the plan going according to plan. That's the easy part, right? Especially if you just wait for direction to be in your favor. I took a light position. I averaged up when it began to go, make these higher highs, and then it took off. Then I was able to break the, $700, $800, $900, and then now we're at the $1,000 mark. So now the question that a lot of people might have is, well, why haven't I sold? Why have I not locked in profits on sqqq? What is my plan? A question you should always be asking yourself. What is my exit plan? My trades are never 100% perfect. I'm not going to pretend to be, right? But with that being said, I always have a plan in place. And what we talked about in yesterday's video, and feel free to watch it, we're at that same resistance level that we somewhat were yesterday, right? And or a couple days ago. I saw that because of futures trading sideways, I saw the potential to retrace back to the moving average on the 1 hour time frame. That is at lows of $57.50. That means, at this point, we were still way up here. I saw a lot of downside margin for tqqq. And because they're inverses of one another, the more that this thing pulls back, the more that this thing pushes up. So it has about a 6% drop from when it started down to the moving average, which means that I have the potential to make about 6% on sqqq if it goes according to plan, which again, it 100% doesn't always have to go according to plan. So I'm sharing with you my plan. I am okay with my 850 shares. I was going to average up. I was going to go in with $100,000, but as of right now, direction just isn't in my favor, right? If it breaks above, I can choose to step on the gas. I'm not too sure if I'm going to just yet. And then I'll allow it to continue to run as we get closer to the moving average. I'm going to close out this trade today. I'm not going to hold sqqq. I'm not about that. I don't care for the risk. I'm okay with taking it day by day. TQQQ, I would be more willing to hold overnight because it's more bullish than it is bearish. That's my thought process behind it. This is a riskier ETF. I need to take that into consideration, right? So with that being said, I plan to close it out. I hope that it goes according to plan and that TQQQ retraces, but if it doesn't, I'm waiting for the break below on the 5-minute time frame, the EMA line. So if we begin to trade below $32.80, that's where I'm going to choose to exit. Sell my entire position. I'll probably be up about $800 at that point, but I'm okay with that. I wanted to give it some cushion that it has enough room for it to move around, but not so much room that I give back all of my profits. So again, I talked about why I saw value in it, right? Direction was in my favor. I talked about why I averaged up into it. You never average down, you average up because direction was in my favor. Then I talked about my overall plan. What do I see here, which then correlates to what I see here, right? I see more upside margin. But if things don't go according to plan, as they don't always have to, this is where I prepare for the worst case scenario. And this is my encouragement for all of you guys, if you see value in it. It is so important that when you're on top, when you're in the green, when things are going according to plan, that is when you prepare for the worst. It's very difficult when things are going south very quickly and for you to make an effective decision. You tend to make more impulsive decisions when things are going south. So I would rather you, as you're ahead of the game right now, to prepare and plan for, hey, if things go south, I need to exit at some point or another, right? Because you don't want to give back all of your profits. I don't know about you, but I don't trade to give it all back. Is that your goal? Then why don't you have a plan, right? It's not just, hey, I'm going to only sell if TQQQ retraces and if this thing hits $34. That's the only time I'll sell. Well, I mean, I'd love for that to happen, but I can't predict the future. So I need to prepare not just for the best case scenario, if it hits 34, but also the worst case scenario. Luckily, I've done well enough today that even if on the worst case scenario, I'll still walk away with a couple $100, which I'm very grateful for. So again, I wanted to explain my entire thought process on the trade. But again, if you want to watch today's live trading session, it's the first link down below. And I mean, that's pretty much what our Learn Plan Profit team gets to experience every single morning. One of the things that I quickly wanted to talk about is this transition that we are currently seeing. Oil is, as of right now, pulling on back, which is actually quite impressive. Yet the Nasdaq market is also pulling back. So there was this Fed meeting in the morning. It wasn't a Fed meeting. It was one of the governors speaking at 10 in the morning. And then that's when we began to see that big shift of overall direction. So please be in the lookout. So although I'm trading sqqq, I would not encourage it for absolute beginners. It looks like we're trying to retrace back to this moving average on the 1 hour time frame. Be careful. Although that's what I'm aiming for, if we break below the moving average, the Nasdaq market can continue to drop. And remember that if the Nasdaq market drops, so do all of your tech stocks. Tesla, Apple, Facebook, they will all drop if we break below the moving average. So please look out for yourself. Stay up to date where the Nasdaq market is trading. This is of value to your tech investments and to your tech trades. It's not that you have to make an impulsive decision, but I need you to be aware of where we're trading and what are critical price levels that we are either trading above and or below. So again, I hope that you learned something new in this video. If you guys did, please smash that like button and of course, consider subscribing. Friendly reminder, if you guys like today's live trading session and you want to learn a little bit more about our Learn Plan Profit group and joining us for every live trading session moving forward, that's exactly what the Learn Plan Profit team gets to experience every single morning. And that's that second link down below. This will break down have everything that's included with the A to Z video lesson library, the daily live trading sessions, the Discord chat, and of course, you get access to our Tech Buds Trading HQ, which is our office in Chandler, Arizona. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to either comment down below or message me via Instagram. Everything is linked in the description. And again, looking forward to seeing you guys for tomorrow's live trading session. And that's that second link down below. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.